Boom! What is up? How you guys doing this afternoon? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing marvelous. Fantastic. Now, it's just my CPU will play nice and not give out on me. That'll be that much better. So what is going on, guys? I know we're in week number 2. We had week 0, week 1. Now we're in week 2. What are you guys thinking about the game? What are your thoughts about how things are playing out? I think human head-to-head games play decent. They're still a little buggy in certain things. CPU games have been really bad. I don't know. The CPU quarterback for me in every game I've played, except for the one I played early this morning. I have had the quarterback basically have 80% passing or more. You haven't been able to stop anything. You can't run. You've been having to pass a lot. And before I made some adjustments, you couldn't pass. You couldn't run very effectively. And I've got a pretty extensive playbook, but it seemed like nothing, either out of heavy formations or spread, everything, the guys wouldn't block at all on offense or passing or running. So with that said, it was frustrating. And it's been frustrating. This game has been frustrating, to say the least. And I've been probably a little more vocal than I should be. I get so aggravated. I have high expectations, and this all stems back from last game. College Football 25 coming out. Nobody was more excited, I think, about this game than myself. I know I drove Nate crazy because I was saying this is the greatest game, and I hate Madden, blah blah blah. And I know he probably got tired of me after a while, and he did, say like, hey, look, we gotta stop this or whatever. But anyway, so it's one of those things. Let's post out we're live. Might get a couple stragglers. Anyway, it's been a roller coaster ride already. We're not even out of the box. Basically 2 weeks. We waited 2 weeks for updates. We waited for all the different things to happen where we could start fresh and and feel like we started on a good foot. Initially, when the game came out, I thought it was playing okay game wise. There was a few things, but I could run the ball. I could pass, and then after the update, it got to where it was like really almost insane trying to play the CPU. And I don't know about you, but nothing infuriates me more than playing a CPU that is a team that's well below 70, and 70 and below. You're a team that's a 95 overall, and they're just taking it to you. The score through the game, your guys are not blocking. It's basically like if you're playing on Heisman, and or you're playing on freshman and the CPU's playing on Heisman. And I get it. There's some guys in the community that want a challenge. They want to play the CPU. A lot of these guys from the online community where they're playing, um, and yeah. So I'm trying to read your because all your points are correct, and I love it. Um, I'm a man that can't do two things at once, so I got to focus on. but but really, truly, honestly, like, I mean, I understand that these people want challenges and stuff, but they make it to where I was noticing I was audibling to plays, audible to run. The defense would adjust and stack the box. Audible to a pass, and they would readjust to cover. I would audible to an RPO. They would adjust to man coverage. It just, they know what you're calling, and I get it. There's some tell signs or whatever, but that's not making the game play. It's just making it psychic to where, okay, it knows what you're calling. It knows you're calling RPO. They need to run a man to cover it, or run some type of cover two underneath. That infuriates me. That is what gets my blood boiling, and that's what gets me to mouthing and get me in trouble. Because I'm very passionate about this game. I'm very passionate about EA Sports. I was a game changer for 7-8 years or whatever, how long that I was doing that with the EA Sports, and it just infuriates me that the game plays this way. Um, and so I let my emotions get the best of me, and for that I need to say I'm sorry, and I'm trying to do better. But this game, those of us that have played it for a long time, we're passionate about it. We are passionate, competitive human beings that we know football. We've either played it in high school, maybe even some of us played it in college. We've watched football long enough that we understand a lot of the concepts and X's and O's and different things that go along with football, and you see it not being portrayed in something that you spend a lot of time, a lot of your pastime, and this is the hobby. This is my main hobby. Feel like lately my main hobby has been complaining, and I hate it. I hate to complain. I really do. You probably don't think so. Some of you that have watched my stream, I hate complaining, because I complain about people that complain too much, and then I get on here after every stream that I do. I get off here and I was like, man, I'm so stupid. I just complain the whole time. I complain the whole time, and then I post stuff in chat, and it's like, I'm complaining. It sounds like I'm complaining. Maybe I'm not really complaining, but I'm posting something and I'm complaining. And so, yeah, it looks like, and it sounds like that all Maniac does is complain and gripe about this thing. But I promise you, I'm just very passionate about this game, and I know a lot of you are. I've played around many of you guys games. We played in NHL, we played football and the OMFL and things for a lot of years now, so you guys know as well what to expect from games and stuff. And anyway, I just, I guess I'm trying to get that out there and say, that, again, forgive me for complaining. I'm very passionate, and I know you guys are too. I want the best for this league. This league has so much potential, and it seems like, again, from last game where we battled the different glitches in the settings and all the different kinds of stuff. Yeah, I did retire from shooters on y'all too. It just, drives me insane. And I put so many hours, and Nate's done the same thing. And I think that's the reason why he gets frustrated and stuff, because you put so many hours into something. And you expect it. Whenever I make a slider adjustment, we don't have run blocking. I expect when I move run blocking up 5, I expect the run blocking to get better, not worse. And that's kind of what happens. It seems like, and then I've been researching. It seems like each game I've spent way more time researching and trying to figure out sliders than I actually do trying to play the game or put my playbook together. Um, and it's just it's aggravating. Um, yeah, and that's the thing. They're never going to be perfect, Kev. I mean, you make a great point. They're never going to be perfect. They're always going to be something that's messed up. But I mean, gosh, Friday. That's one of the fun words that my son uses. Gosh, Friday. His coach actually told him that. But anyway, settings, sliders. That should be basic elementary things. The core of the game that should work. Or at least EA should be able to explain. Okay, if you're having problems, not seeing what you want to see from the running game in your leagues, do this slider. I don't even think EA knows what every slider touched actually does to the game. I've been watching the Sim Slider, a guy from YouTube. There's been several others I've been watching. Ben 10. He posts on Operation Sports every year. Sliders. People having to go through sliders, trying to get them to play a certain way. And I guarantee EA does not even know what all affects the different things in the game that's tied into it. Because if they did, I think they would explain it. I think they would put out this affects this affects that. And just for one example, switch you guys over here to the game as I'm talking. That kind of moves me to my point. Sliders, given that big old long spiel to start the show off, but the sliders, gameplay sliders, again, I've tried to keep them all close to 50 as possible. I have tried not to touch. I've give like the wide receiver catching a little bit of boost because that one animation, and I just heard Nate talking about it on his stream when he was streaming a game he's playing against Louisiana Tech, and that one animation happens so many times, and I don't know if it's tied to the sliders or what. I'm hoping it is, so if I keep increasing it, maybe we'll see it go away, but probably more than likely not. But I've got the QB accuracy at 45, which I think we are pretty good on the accuracy part of the quarterbacks and stuff. And maybe if we start having less drops, I may have to drop this back down and QB accuracy back down a little bit because to compensate for the drops. But again, there's all the thing that you start chasing your tail. Okay, well now we're, your quarterback's throwing at 68 to 70% a game, but you're having, 7 of these stupid looking drops every game. Well, if they fix it, well, now all of a sudden every quarterback's going to be throwing 85%, 90%. So then you got to readjust on that end. So again, you chase your tail, but you want to try to make it a fun experience as much as possible for everybody. And hopefully the game works somewhat the way it's intended to work. Run blocking, we bumped that up. I know Nate was having struggles running. We bumped it up to 55. Maybe, hopefully, that'll increase that a little bit. I know there's some like Bird. I don't think Bird has had an issue at all running the ball. I think the first game he played, he ran for like 160 yards or something. But that's Mr. Juke Man Bird there. So, but ball security. Come down on it because wasn't seeing any kind of fumbles. So again, a lot of this stuff we were looking online. QB accuracy for the CPU, I've brought it down again. I think this is another 5 points again, down to 35. So what I've read online and what I've saw from YouTube, uh, some of the guys were actually putting it all the way down to like 17. But I also don't want to get to where the QBs don't throw the ball and they're just taking off running all the time, because then, again, that's not fun. It's not a challenge. It's just, again, the game playing stupid. CPU blocking, all that stuff is down. I like I said, when we come into this week, I readjusted them again, looking at some of the things, brought those down. I actually had these on 45, pass defense, reaction time, and pass coverage. I had them on 45, and I could not throw nothing. And I've got to looking online, and I've discovered that a lot of the other guys are discovering what they feel like is the sliders on some of these things are backwards. So I readjusted them up to this week to 55. Well, guess what? I was able to throw the ball a little better. It wasn't as tight a coverage, and the defense didn't react as fast. So I think that's the case. I think 50 is the middle of the road, obviously, but it's a little tough. So I brought them down to 45. Then it got tougher, back to 55. Well, now it's actually allowing some routes to get open that was never open. The receivers are able to get off the line of scrimmage without being jammed up their tailpipe. And then the way pass rush was and pass blocking, you never could hardly get the pass off. So again, it was very frustrating. And this is one of those things that's very frustrating. How does that happen? EA, how does that happen? How does it get backwards? Do you not know that it is backwards? Through testing, I don't understand it. I know they probably just set everything at 50 and they adjust on the back end on their side, but somehow, some way, these things get flipped and it happens. And people have said it's happened before. And you go online and you find that, well, other people are saying they think they're backwards. So guess what? I think it is too. Brought the interceptions down on the CPU. I think, though, this one's not obviously backwards. Or at least I don't think it is. I think we've seen a better result of not having pick passes from the CPU as much. Tackling, brought that down 1. I want to see if that's going to affect anything for as maybe hit sticks or getting off of blocks. This was well, for the CPU, I actually had it at 55. Because there was one video that I saw that showed it's supposed to be at 55, so I brought it down to 50, but I said, I'm going to go one more and go to 49. So it probably makes no difference, but I did it anyway. So accuracy has been bumped up to 2 on field goals. Punt power, 55. I think one of the issues with the game, and we've all talked about, like, my guys don't block for punt. I think it's because the punts are way too short. And it doesn't give the gunners time to turn around and actually position themselves for the punt block. And I have noticed that since I made this adjustment, that I've been able to get a little bit of wiggle room. And I actually had a punt return that was for 50 yards against the CPU. I didn't return it to the house. They chased me down. But this allowed my guys, I think, to turn around, block the ball, or block up their gunners, and give me an opportunity to make the best of the moves I can make or whatever. So, and it wasn't every punt, because I also still got a couple where I didn't get 2 or 3 yards, but I think I did see an improvement there. Punt accuracy, excuse me, brought that up just a little bit. Kickoff power, I brought that up just a little bit as well. I think a lot of the kickers are kicking them right to about the goal line. So this should make it go a couple more yards into the end zone and give guys opportunity if they want to sit on it or bring it out. Injuries are down to 20. They were at, let's see, what did I have them at? I think I had them at 30. So they're down to 20 now. Fatigue is the same. One of the big kickers right here, though. Minimum player speed threshold. In the game, if you go into the main menu and go to the settings, it'll tell you lower the rating, the faster the fast players will feel, up the rating, and the parity between faster and slower players gets smaller. What I found online, I think this one is backwards also, because there was a guy that had it set on 17. A guy that's 97 speed should blow past an 89 speed guy with no issues. And that wasn't the case. He was keeping them very close. This may be a little high. We'll adjust this. I actually went 3 points over 55 here with the 58. Some I saw had them at 60. So I tried 58 here because I don't want it to be just bombs away, streaks on streaks, and that's how you win a ball game. I think it should be a combination of calling the right place at the right time. And if you got the personnel, if you got a fast guy, being able to utilize him in situations, but also it can't be abused. So again, this is where we're at. Precipitation stuff brought all those down to 40. That all this stuff is impacted by precipitation. I think 50 was too high in a lot of areas. The one thing that I got from one of the videos that I watched was the movement penalties and precipitation needs to mirror what you have on the player speed threshold. If not, it causes some clunky looking animations, and we all know how clunky animations play in effect with EA sports games. So, and I'm sorry if this is boring. I'm actually going to get to talking about some of the stuff that we're seeing from the league so far, some of the games, just kind of highlight some of the games. I'm also going to be talking about the new incentive program that we're going to be rolling out. It's not going to be in effect until next season, but you can go ahead and start planning ahead and seeing what you need to do to get incentives. We are going to have an incentive part, so if you donate to the website as well. But we'll get into all that stuff here in a little bit. And just, again, looking at scores and different things and talk about one of the rules that we just had to add to the rule book if you haven't seen it already. So another big thing that is affecting how run blocking happens, how tackling happens, how pass block happens, and how the defense attacks the line of scrimmage. So I've been listening to this guy on with the sliders, and I will say I think he's on to something. And so I made some adjustments as we came into this week. And so the offsides, as you see, this is a defensive controlled slider. The lower this gets, the less likely your defensive guy is going to be called for an offsides penalty. But what this does in correlation with the speed threshold is it allows them, one, to fire off the ball quicker without worry of getting an offsides penalty. And so the CPU or the game considers it as you're trying to get through the line of scrimmage quicker. The same thing with false start. This also has correlation with how the offensive line fires off to attack the defensive line or blitzers. I've actually got both of these at 45. I'm thinking about, since pass rush is pretty good right now, and pass block does not seem to be where it needs to be, and pass block is another one that I am not 100% sure, but it may be backwards. You may have to go lower to get it to work more properly. So again, it's going to probably take some testing. we'll probably look at maybe making some adjustments if we continue to have some issues. But one thing I might do is bump up the offsides back up to around like 48. That way it gives it advantage a little bit to the offensive line, which then when they're firing off the ball quicker, holding actually helps them decide whether or not they're going to hold the blocks longer or they're going to let them go quicker to avoid the penalty. If this is jacked up the other way, then I'm trying to think of how I explained it. So if it's jacked up the other way, they're more likely to let the rusher go because they don't want to get flagged, because it's a more the logic of the game sees it as a possibility you're going to get flagged for more penalties, so they're going to let them go. And that's the reason why I think at 50 where we're seeing like your offensive raise your hand if you've seen your right tackle just sit there and stare at the defensive end or the edge rusher, come around the edge and just look at them as they're tackling you for an immediate sack, basically, as you try to get this as correlation with that issue. I haven't seen it as predominant. I think it is working. So again, all these things like EA, I doubt very seriously they know that it ties in, or else they would at least try to explain, like, if you're having pass rush problems or if you're having pass block problems in your dynasty with your settings, you may want to try doing doing this and that, whatever. But no, I don't think they do that, because one, I think they want you to be relied upon them for making updates, which is okay. But again, that just screws everything up every time we get it set. They add an update to fix something because we fixed it already, or we've got it playing the way we feel like it plays well for our group of people, and then they get it all messed up. And guess what? We've got to go through the whole process of trying to figure out stuff again. And that's where the chasing of the tail starts, and we've all talked about that. But if you leave them at 50, then you're going to have to endure some major problems, especially if they're not updating this game like they should be. So again, so that's what that is. Face mask correlates with tackling. It's kind of stupid, but I mean, also I kind of get it now, since it's like, I'm kind of like understanding this, how this is working. But face mask penalty being higher will cause the guys not to pursue tackles as well, lower it, and they actually get more aggressive, which is crazy, but it ties into the tackling part of the process. So I've got it at 49. I only took 1 point off of it because I feel like tackling can be, at one point, it can be way overpowered, especially in the run game. But then in other times when you're in the open field, tackling is some of the dumbest things you'll ever watch in animations in an EA Sports game, because you do one little juke or you do one little spin and they're all flopping, their hands raised in the air like, oh, I just got so faked out. Really? Not buying it, EA. Anyway, so that all ties in. So I'm doing my best to try to be entertaining too, through my pain and suffering EA has caused. I think I need to send them a bill for my all the doctor bills that I've had for all the things, the mental things that I've went through from because of the game. So anyway, all right. So that is the lowdown on the sliders. The sliders. Hate them, love them, don't understand them, mistreat them, despise them, whatever. It is what it is. But I think through a lot of hard researching, I think I'm understanding them, but that doesn't mean that EA's not going to try to change something. So to be continued on the slider. This could be an episode in every show. The Young and the Sliders. So go slip on that one. I have found, though, and I think Nate had pointed this out, and this is another little tip for those of you, I've seen it, that there's been quite a fluctuation with people joining. I don't know if it's just randoms or the league, but resetting, you have to reset the sliders when you make adjustments. Reset them, load them into your main slider slot in the game, and then import them. I know Nate had posted about that. I think doing like one or two little adjustments will be okay, but if you have a mass change to your sliders, then that's the way you need to do it. So again, this is kind of a moment to those that are in the board, that if hey, this is life. If I kick the bucket tomorrow, you'll know what to do, maybe possibly to help keep the league rolling as I'm not around, possibly. So this is going to be another little tidbit for you guys. I have had an issue where I believe I have played this game and I am on Heisman settings or freshman setting. I'm sorry. I'm on freshman or lower, whatever the lowest setting is. My team is playing on that setting. I truly believe that glitch is still in this game. But it's not showing. And then I come across a guy that actually felt like he was having the same issue. So I'm not alone in this world. So the fix that he found for that, for those of you that like, I don't understand, my team is like a 20 points higher than this team, and then I can't actually win against this team, or this team is playing me like they're on God mode. I've did this little trick, and I think it actually worked. I do think it actually worked. So you're going to go out of the dynasty. And you're going to go to manage files. And this right here, the profile, 8/1/2025. Okay. I had a profile that was tied to, and this guy explained, it's tied to an old build of the game. Yeah, you get an update, but I don't think it updates to your profile. And so whatever your profile was on, like it was on freshman or something happened, it gets stuck on there even though the game has been updated. Again, this is one of those things where Nate's always said I've chased the rabbit hole and the rabbit trail or whatever. But I know how I play, and I know when things like it just didn't feel kosher. So the fix was to delete this, close the game out, reload the game, and it's going to give you the option of whenever it won't delete nothing else. It won't delete your playbooks. The only thing it does is resets all your settings for like your CPU settings, all those. It gives you a reset. It basically resets your profile across the board. And you probably, some of you probably sitting there in this chat going like, this guy's stupid, or this guy is always looking for the rabbit hole. Maybe I am, but I know how the game felt before I played it with this older profile, and I know how the game felt after I changed this, and it felt like I had a fighting chance against the CPU, and so anyway, I'm still gonna say that I'm not 100% sure it worked, but I'm pretty sure it worked just the way the game felt. And I don't think playing 12 games about ready to kick the bucket or kick this game outside, delete it, to not play it again, to like, oh, well, it wasn't as bad, and it was at least somewhat enjoyable. Delete the profile, load the game back up. It's going to have you reassign yourself to the terms and all the conditions, whatever. It's basically going to say like reset the game. You have to pick your favorite team again, all that stuff. Once you get all that stuff done, it's going to take you back the same thing, the dynasty. All your previous load stuff, like a lot of times you go in to dynasty and you just go continue. All that stuff's going to be erased because it. But the dynasty and everything, you go to the list, it's still going to be there. Anyway, I noticed a difference. I noticed a change in the way my game was playing. So, give it a shot. If you've had those thoughts, if you're like, man, it's like my guys are moving in mud and their guys are so fast, and what's up? I guarantee it's probably some kind of deal like that, because that was what this other guy was talking about on YouTube, and I didn't share it with nobody because I figured I would get shunned, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it myself. So with that said, we're going to move on past all those conspiracy theorist claims that I'm bringing to the table right now. So, well, that is the wrong one. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to the smally balls. Tony Bono is ready to be coaching the Texas Longhorns. All right, so as you can see, I just barely squeaked by San Jose. They are 69 overall team. My team is like 94 overall or something like that. So that in no sense makes no sense in any game situation whatsoever. I should have been able to probably just to sim the game and I would have got better results. So, or at least I would hope. But anyway, so I made changes after that. I opened up another dynasty, played in the league, put the same sliders on, went in, put the same situation, same game, and I totally destroyed San Jose State. So, and that's the way it should have been. So I'm thinking with the adjustments, the thing with the profile, I'm hoping that I've actually found something that will help make this game not fully enjoyable, but at least tolerable. So, all right. So we're just gonna look at gonna take a look at the conference standings here in the Deuce Dynasty. The SEC, we got Texas, Georgia, LSU at 2-0. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Oh. Are you telling me that wins, losses don't even work as far as like sorting them by 2-0 teams to 1-0 teams? Oh my goodness, EA. Anyway, all right. So LSU is 2-0. Georgia's 1-0. Everybody is looking pretty good. Texas, of course, I took a big loss to Ohio State, 55-35 in the first game. He took it to me in the second half, but at least looks like everybody's got a win here except for Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. So that's going to be a fun one. The ACC, we have Joker at 2-0. Afro Man at 1-0. Notre Dame and Bird, the Juke Man. He's at 2-0. So it looks like everybody's having some pretty good success over there. Louisville is 1-1 right now. Clemson 0-1, took the big loss to LSU. Miami is 0-2. Struggling probably too as well with those sliders. So I don't know if you're finding the game kind of doing what I just explained, you might want to try the profile thing. Just try it. I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But you might be a good testing for that. If it seems like your guys are playing in mud, or it seems like you can't ever get past the CPU type of thing situation. So maybe just give it a try, man. It may not work, but maybe it'll give you a chance to test it out. Big 12. So those of you that do not know, okay, so you played humans. Okay, all right. So I yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the schedule either, so I guess I should have done that before I just like went on a limb and said, "Hey, Zoe, you try this." My bad. Uh, so those of you that do not know, we are the Deuce Dynasty. So we have the SEC, we have the ACC, we have the Big 10, and the Big 12 as the four conferences that we use to have our close to 32-man dynasty. We're at like 28, I think, right now. So Kansas with a 1-0 start. They got 41 points for her. Impressive. Oregon is 3-0. They're playing stout. Oh, Shiloh bad over across the waters. Arizona State. Pepper has had to step away for a moment. He had a real life situation with the family, and so he's taking care of that. He was actually going to step down. And I told him, just go on auto. Keep up with your team best you can when you can. And once all this passes and gets over, just step back in and start playing again. So we can do that for our fellow teammate and buddy here. He just got back too, so he spent basically the whole session of the last games off. He started with College Football 25, played it for a little bit, and had to step away with real life issues with I think he was getting a house built, different things like that. So anyway, so he just stepped away, but he's back, refreshed, and so hopefully he can be able to get plugged in eventually. But until then, he'll be on auto, so you guys can look at that. Utah 1-1, Texas Tech 1-1, Nebraska 1-1, West Virginia 0-2. I think Roger, though, I'm going to give him the option of stepping out of West Virginia if he wants to. He was kind of sick in a way, I think in the hospital as well when we were kind of doing the team selection. So we're going to let him make a selection there if possible as well, if he wants to. So anyway, that's kind of a look at the conferences there. What I need to get to is the big thing here. So I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I can. Let's see. Give me just a second. My computer may go meltdown mode, so bear with me. For the next two little segment parts of the show, I'm going to upload, hopefully here, so you guys can see on the screen with me. Probably should have already had this done. All right, to that there. I'm looking at this here. Going to grab this over here and see if this works. If it doesn't, don't shoot me. Hey, it worked. Okay. So, see, I need to readjust that though. All right, give me a second here. So I'm trying to make sure you can read it all as I'm going. Comparing here. Okay, yeah, I think it does. See if I interact with it. Does it change for you guys too? Or is it stationary? Maybe I need to be able to interact from it here. There it is. Okay. I'll slide that over. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see all that. It's a little scrunched up compared to what it looks like on the computer. But here we go. Okay, so we had a little incident, and sometimes I was thinking like, what could we talk about the rules? And sometimes material presents itself. So we had a situation, go figure, yesterday where we had an issue that arose. It wasn't a big issue, but we had an issue arose about no rule for this particular thing in the rule book. And so I decided to go ahead and add this, which I wish it looked, because it don't look like it the way it does on here. I'll have to just get, this is a concept thing. My mind doesn't like it, and I know it's right on the other one, but it's not right on here. Respect is a must here. Respect those that take the time to put the dice together and run it. If there's an issue, keep it out of the chat and keep it in the DM. So respect. We're big on respect. OMFL's big on respect. The community here at Grown Folks is big on respect. So respect. Respect is earned, not given. But my point is, everyone in this community, I think, has earned respect by the simple fact that they've taken the time to play these games, be here as part of the group, part of the family that we are. And yes, families do have disputes and there's things that pop up, but we need to be respectful. Respect goes a long ways. This is what was added to the list of respectfulness when it comes to game wise. So be respectful. This should never have to be put into the rule book, but because as normal, we are humans, and I need to learn how to use punctuations. We are human, and we like to be this way. This rule has to be written. Okay. Respect your opponent in the last 2 minutes of the game. If you're up by 14 or more and they're not calling timeouts with no clear shot to win the game, nail it out. Get out of Dodge. Get it over with. So, one, you're better because the way the wear and tear is. A couple extra plays on your guys for non-meaningful snaps could get you in trouble for his injuries and stuff. So, keep that in mind. Failure to show respect in any way to the board or an opponent will get you a one-way ticket out of this league. And I don't care who you are. Respect is earned and not given, but every owner here has earned respect. Show it. Also, a board member may inquire if there is an issue without fear of backlash about running up the score. If the person that had the offense happen to them says that they are not okay with it, then the actions will be taken and swiftly. Respect is a two-way street. Don't get caught going on the wrong side of that road. So, yeah, you get run over. So that is the rule that we had to add in here because of a situation. I am not going to name names. There is people that know who it is. I'm sure those that watch it that could have been involved in it may know who it is. You may think you might know who it is. Just leave it be, whatever. I'm going to be respectful and get it respectful in the situation and not name names. So, but you know who you are. Some may know who it is. Just keep it to yourself. Okay. Now to the good part. Those of you that have stayed this long, you 3 or 4 of you that are still watching, thank you for enduring my long-windedness, my 30-minute rant on why this game plays the way it is and the sliders and all that. It's good stuff. So thank you for enduring that and sticking with me because it makes me feel good. Where am I going to go? I mean, it seems like forever to get to there. Man, when the rule book's put in this format, it seems like it is 400 pages long. All right, welcome to the incentive program of the Deuce Dynasty. This is what you've all been waiting for. We want to offer you ways to earn more things within the game to create fun and engaging experiences for all. Look to be creative, either with screenshots from in-game, making a case for your top player to be considered for the Heisman. Yes, we are going to correlate with Mr. Trey and Mo. Both of these guys are going to be working on the incentive program. And then those of you that don't know, Randy is also going to be in charge of our scheduling. So he'll be the scheduling coordinator or scheduling board member for the Deuce. And you've probably seen him already post your name in the scheduling chat. So please be respectful of those guys and help them whenever they ask for help and whatever they're doing, and support. We all need to each support each other in these situations. Roger's also part of the board. He's kind of like an off-season guy. He takes care of a lot of those things from the off-season. Any XP stuff that needs to be added or things like that. Roger's always on top of that, and he's such a good guy in community. But all right, so let me hang on. Let me get a drink here. I've talked forever, and now I'm starting to lose my voice. So, consider for the Heisman. So we're gonna have an offline Heisman race. Yeah, that's the word. Race. A Heisman race. We'll probably have a coach of the year and do some of those things like that. And we haven't yet decided on what all you'll get for those, but there is going to be something that you can work towards getting those. And so there is a segment in the Discord. If you scroll down, it says Heisman race or Heisman Award or something. There, let me look. So. Okay, it's the Deuce Dynasty Heisman Watch. It's all the way down, right before the Deuce Voice section. So, so you can post if you got a guy that you feel like should be considered for the Heisman. You can post screenshots in there, maybe get some stats, and update it. However much you want to update throughout the season. That can also count towards your incentive as you posting different things, stories or whatever from the game. So that can be used towards that as well. But anyway, post those things there for the Heisman. This was doing the coach's corner write up, game recaps. We want you to use those creative juices. So help the Deuce get out there and known. The OMFL has been greatly known for a long time now, over 20 something years, going strong. And so we want to get to that point as well here eventually one of these days. So it's going to take a lot of hard work, but I'm excited to the group that we have here. The most important thing is to be active, playing your games, and if you have a bad season, keep playing. I know that's tough. Can be very tough. So I've been there, and I understand your pain. Keep playing, focus on making your team better, but most of all, being an important part of the grown folks community. Incentive levels that can be earned. Remember, you need to track these, so this is going to be on a basis where we're going to trust you. All right, so if we ever catch anybody doing it and cheating on it, guess what? You're going to lose all your incentives, and you'll probably lose some other privileges as well, if not a spot here in the Deuce Dynasty. So track your points, though. Be honest. Someone in charge of incentives, which will be Mo and also Trey. They're going to work together. I think Mo's going to be more over the incentives part. I think Trey's going to be more over the part of like doing the awards for the end of the season. Hey, what's up, Nate? You got to go back and watch all the stuff I bash and talk about you the first of the show. So I'm just kidding. I love you. Greetings from Texas. Howdy, y'all. But these are the things that you can attain to. So these are the levels. We got a Heisman level, which is 160 points. As you'll see here as we scroll down, it's going to be pretty easy, I think, to get. We may end up eventually making this harder. All-American 120, freshman 90. So we only have 3 levels. It's basically kind of similar to OFL where you have the gold, silver, bronze level. Just put the spin on it. All right, here's the checklist. Feel free to make yourself a Google Doc. Copy this, put it on that Google Doc, and start checking them off as you get them. And I'll probably have a Google form that you'll be able to submit later on. So we'll get that going later on. But like I said, we're rolling it out, showing you what to do, and then we'll implement it for the next season. So we may still have some awards at the end of the season, but also too, the very first season, you can't really do much with points to add to players. It only happens after you get your freshman class going in that you can start updating and doing things to the freshman class to make them more superb. But anyway, play your games in the season, no sims, you get 50 points. This is another reason why it's important to post your games in the scheduling chat. And this might be, Nate, and this just kind of crossed my mind. This might be the only thing that might make it nice to have Neon Sports, because then we could track the games off of there. But we could probably easily just make a Google Doc too and track it that way as well. So that'll be another conversation for another time. So I'll get myself sidetracked. Play 90% of your games, you get 40 points. Play 80%, you get 30. Schedule and post or complete games before the weekly deadline, regular season only. 2 points for each game, 20 points max for the season. All right, again, track these points for yourself. Get screenshots whenever you post it or whatever. Like I said, make you a Google Doc, track it, and I think that'll be a good way to keep track with your stuff. You get 30 points for that. Twitter account, if you have one of those. I have one. I actually haven't used mine in a while. I need to get back to it. I have a Tony Bono one that I haven't used it in a while. But if you got that and you make some posts on that, maybe put some attention towards the Deuce Dynasty, even if it's just grabbing the logo and throwing it out there and, say, screenshot from that one of your games, throw it out there. That's a post that makes it active, and you're posting it out there for the world to see the Deuce Dynasty. So follow Grown Folks, not just do things as well, but follow Grown Folks on Twitter, YouTube. I'm going to add another one in here too. It'd be easy for me to track and go back. Anytime we do a 360 show, like it. And if you're subscribed to me as well, it'll give you some more points. So I got to get that added in here. Content creation articles must be posted both in the Deuce Dynasty and the Grown Folks League content channels on Discord. So if you don't know where those are at, just figure it out. They're actually all listed on there. And make sure that you have notifications turned on for those so you can actually look at those when they get posted. A little piece of advice there. All right, video uploads to YouTube playlist. If you don't know how to do that, there is a command in the Discord that you can type in. Nate, if you're watching, maybe you can type it in the chat so that way guys can see it. I always forget if it's either exclamation point or if it's dashes, but there's a way. I usually have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it to go, but there's a way, and it shows you what you need to do to join the playlist, and you can upload your full games to the playlist, or you can actually make like highlights or shorts from your game that you can post to that as well. So it'll automatically add you to those playlists. So that's just another great little way that you can create content for the league and for the community. Deuce thumbnail attached to your video uploads. If you saw in Discord and the announcement thread or above a couple of things that just recently posted, if you look there, there's a nice little screenshot that Nate put together for us that has yours truly favorite team, Texas Longhorns beating Notre Dame's player. But we might look at doing an actual photo of the year as well, and then that can be changed season to season if Nate wants to help us out with that, since he does such a great job on the graphics. I can do graphics, but they don't look as pretty as Nate's. Mine looks very primitive compared to his, so he's got all that figured out to science, so maybe we can do that for him, with him. Screenshots posted, those will count as one. This is an important one too. Grown Folks Discord server tag. You all see beside the name, about all of us in the Discord, you see the little GRWN for the Grown Folks. If you add that and you have that beside your name, then you can get added 10 points just for doing that. For the Grown Folks. Any other Discord that you go to on another site or whatever, it'll have the little Grown Folks tag there on your name, and people can click on it and actually look and see what community you're from. So it just helps give Grown Folks a little bit of outside. I just went blank. I can't think of the word. Commercializing a little bit outside the league and the community. So, all right. If you post the screenshots, you can get up to 25 points, and that's including playoffs. It will all count. Get rewarded for voting anytime the league has a league-wide requested vote. You vote on it, participate in it, you get a point for it. So it's easy to track because your little face will show up in where you voted. So that's an easiest one right there. All right, now to the fun little part here. Okay, you guys, I know this looks like there's not a whole lot here. And there's not really a whole lot you can do in the game. You can't change things for us like like the dev traits and all stuff like that. You can't change that. You can buy them in the game, but I can't give you points in the game, so you can buy them, so on and so forth. So it's kind of limited what we can do, but I wanted to do something. So if you get the Heisman, you get actually 12 points. Remember, we got 80-something players. It's not as restricted as the Madden game, where you only have 53 players on a roster. We got 85 players on a roster, and 12 points spread out. And I'm going to get to some more stuff here in a minute that you're going to be like, wow. All right, so Nate says he can make custom ones for you if you're interested as well. So we can do that. So thank you, Nate. Heisman, 160 points. You get 12 XP points to be used on non-restricted attributes. And then you get 4 XP added to restricted attributes, which are... The list is here. Speed, acceleration, kick power, agility, change of direction. But we have a cap at 93. So most college players are a little bit faster, quicker, all that stuff. So you can cap those at 93. Anything past that, can't do. So we got a 93 cap on there as well. So max 2 restricted XP points per player. Can adjust past 93 on attributes, on any of the attributes, but you can only use up to 6 points per player. And again, it can't be like Arch Manning, anybody that's an actual real life player, because we can't adjust those. And so just tough luck. But if you have a incoming freshman quarterback, say he's got an 89 or 88 throw power, and you're like, well, I'd like to bump him up to at least, 90, 91. You can do that. So you can bump him up, but you only get to use 2 max on that as per player. So once those 2, even if it's the next season, you want, maybe I can add 2 more. Nope, sorry. It's 2 per player. So 12 XP points for restricted points is what you get for the season. The All-American, they got a little bit less, but you still get good. You got 2 XP for restricted. Hey Stella, how you doing? Glad you're watching. Are you watching? Are you watching with Grandpa? Glad you're watching, Stella. All right, you get 2 XP for restricted points as well. So again, it starts shrinking. When you get freshman, you only get 4 XP. You're like, Ben, I went all that for 4 XP. Well, if you're in the swing of doing stuff, it's very easy to get 90 points. I mean, you can probably get 90 points just doing nothing pretty much, which is, but playing your games, play all your games in the season, there's 50 points. It's over half of it right there. That's over half it right there. All right, articles posted in both Deuce and the Grown Folks League. There's another 50 points. And then if you add the Grown Folks thumbnail, that's a point per video. And if you're playing 16 games in a season, well, there's 16 points. So you get my drift. It's real easy to get that there. So we may actually have to up some of these points though, because I did increase the point list. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Do my math. I'm gonna have to recheck my Texas math here. All right. Looked at the player attributes that are restricted. We're going to wrap this up here pretty quick, but we're going to start talking about community donations and perk levels. All right. So Nate has been doing the community donation drive. So we wanted to offer those that are in our community part are part of the community that is not really involved in any of the other spots, a little bit more incentive to actually look at donating. And as you can see, hi Stella. Oh boy, Stella, she's a good gal. There's my Mickey Mouse there's my Tony Bono impersonation stuff for the show. Starting at the bottom, work our way up the top. Starter ownership awards. Place inside the starter group for the Discord. All right, this is if you donate. All right, scroll up here. $10 to $19. You can see Nate. He's posted those. You get one extra 5-star recruit in one season. First season eligible with the perk. So you can start with next season if you get that. You get an extra 1-star recruit for that entire season, so you can recruit. 1 XP added to restricted attributes. You get 1 XP for the entire cycle. You get 2 extra points to be awarded under the player rating rule. So you get 2 more XP points to add to every other player attribute. We're also going to offer import players. Yes, that's right. We're going to offer import players because with the game, how it is, you're able to go in before we start a dynasty. I can actually create a roster file. I can go in and add players. We can add players to the dynasty, add them to the team, and then we can start up the dynasty with those added players. So unless they absolutely change this next season or next game, which please EA, don't. Please, I'm begging, please, no. Don't change it. Leave it in there. So if you do the starter one, you'll get a 70 overall player, which would probably like a freshman coming in. You can probably find one of those. Unless you're too good at recruiting, then you may not have a 70 overall player. It's just tough luck, Charlie. But then you also get other community perks that you may not know of. You get entered in for the giveaways and a lot more that Nate offers throughout the community-wide events that he's going to be having. I think he's probably going to be doing a live stream for Madden, and he usually gives away games and controllers and all kinds of cool stuff. So also community merch. I don't know if I don't have my Deuce Dynasty cap on, but I also have an OMFL shirt. A lot of cool things. You can get sweaters and jackets and pullovers and t-shirts and caps and phone covers and all different kinds of stuff that has the community logos on it. So it's really cool, and that'll get you entered in that stuff. Okay, then the next one, all pro ownership, is 20 to 29. Again, see Nate or the post that he's made. All pro ownership, 1 extra 5-star recruit, but you get it for 2 seasons of the cycle. So you get first 2 seasons of the cycle only. So it's so whenever you, again, like I said, we're going to start next season. So if you get this, you buy one of these perks, and then the next season, if you're under the rule that you only say if you have a 4-star team and you only get 2, well, for season 2 and 3 of this cycle, you're going to get to actually have 3 5-star recruits available for you. 3 XP added restricted attributes. Again, we're bringing that to you. 4 extra points to be added under the player rating rule. And all in-season incentive earn XP doubled for season 2. So, say for instance, if you get gold in season 2 and you have this perk, well, not only do you get go back up here, not only get 12 XP points, but it's doubled. You get 24. And I know that seems a lot, but again, we have a wide open roster. You only get to use 6 per player. Yeah, you might be able to get to add 6 points to 4 different players. But again, this is just something that brings that perk in for you guys that are actually supporting the community through your monetary donations. So we want to give you the opportunity to also benefit from that in our league. Going up to the next one, again, Hall of Fame ownership award. Again, all those once you get that, the import player of 75 and over, overall or under. I'm sorry for this one, and plus again you get entered in the perks. I think each level gets more opportunities for more drawings. So again, you get more perks. You have to see what Nate offers you from the community standpoint on that. The next level up, the Hall of Fame. Again, the more you donate, the more it increases. 1 extra 5-star recruit for 3 seasons. First three seasons of the cycle. Again, we're going to start this season 2. Again, so not this season, but the following season. If you get this, then you'll get the next 3 seasons. And we're going to probably do a minimum of 5 seasons. We did actually 6 last one. I probably wish we would have just done 5, but we squeaked out 6. And so if the game improves and we're having fun, 6 will be a cakewalk. If it's miserable the way it is, 5 will be pushing it. So that's the way we kind of gauge it. Again, I'm sorry if this is taking so long. I kind of had a lot of stuff I want to talk about. It helped me actually get a lot of stuff off my chest. So if you didn't see the first part of it, you can go back and watch it after we're done. But which way did he go, George? Okay, get my mind here. 1 extra 5-star for 3 seasons. 4 XP added to restricted attributes. Max restricted. Again, it's only 2 per player. But if you get this and you're getting gold, you're going to have quite a few XP points to put towards restricted attributes in the game to help out maybe some of those slower linebackers. Say you got a linebacker that's an 81 speed, you can add those 2 points there to a few of those guys. 83 speed is a big difference from 81. I'm telling you, it'll make a difference in some of those areas. Again, add an extra throw power point, all the way up to 93. So again, there's opportunities for you guys. 6 extra points to be rewarded or awarded under the player rating rule. Again, another 6 additional points for the average attributes. All in-season XP incentive points earned doubled for seasons 2 through 4. So you got season 2, 3, and 4. They're all doubled. So that's a big incentive, I think, with these incentives to donate towards the community. This is giving you a big incentive and possibly could help you with your team, especially if you got a lower rated team. Could help you build them up a little bit, You get 1 import player, 80 overall or under. So again, as we're going towards the top, you get more towards the higher overall player that you can bring. Again, don't forget about all the other community perks that you can get with this portion of donation. And then last but not least is the top donation, the Platinum Award, Ownership Award. That is for $100 or more. You get 1 extra 5-star recruit the entire cycle. So if you're going to stick with a 3-star team and you can't ever get them past 3 stars, well, at least you're going to have 4 5-star players you can recruit the entire cycle to maybe help you turn that around before the season ends. 6 XP points, 2 restricted attributes, 2 max restricted per player. 8 extra points to be awarded under the player rating rule. And then all in-season XP incentive earned double for the entire cycle. seasons 2 through 6. Again, I added 2 through 6 for now. The next year I'll change this, and it's going to be 1 through 6 or 1 through 5. Whatever we do, it'll be for the entire cycle that you'll get that earned double. And again, if you only get bronze and you have this, excuse me, you'll get 8 points. So it's not going to be huge, but if you get the gold or you get silver, it's going to be a plethora of points that you can add to your players to help get them moving in the right direction for you. And you get an import player into the next game of 85 overall or under. And again, as always, all the other community giveaways and perks and all that stuff that you can get entered in for donating in each one of these. But that's basically it. That's going to wrap it up. I know I've already went a little... I'm long-winded, as Nate has said on Press Pass Live, and that's okay. I mean, that is okay. My computer didn't melt down. I'm excited about that. My computer did not melt down, so that's unless it did whenever I wasn't paying attention. So if it did, I didn't know. So don't tell me. Let me be excited for one. And thanks, Nate, for having Stella along with you. You should get to experience the Deuce Dynasty 360 show. And Mickey Mouse. Oh, boy. Hot dog. But appreciate you guys. I do appreciate this community. Again, not to go entirely over everything, but I do get disappointed with this game. I let it show too much. I'm very passionate about it, and I guess that's the reason why I get so emotional, because I have so much emotional damage from it. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the community. I appreciate Nate giving us opportunity. I appreciate him for all that he's done for my streaming. A lot of stuff I wouldn't be able to do without him. So I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to, like I said, I stayed up until 5 o'clock working on sliders again last night. I haven't had a lot of chance to put in my playbook the way I want to. I'm putting a lot of effort into all the slider stuff, getting all the information. But I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I hope you continue to play in the Deuce Dynasty. Keep pushing forward and upwards. And with that said, an hour later, we're done. So we'll catch you next time here on the Deuce 360 show. One of these days, maybe I'll actually get a co-host with me. I don't know. I want to, but I'm afraid my computer might melt down. But I'm going to try. I think Randy and also Trey has said that they would be willing to come on. I'm sure I could probably even twist Nate's arm, to come on too as well. So, but until next time, hope you guys have a great one. Deuces.